Good morning, everyone. Welcome. My name is Andrew Yip. I'm a sales engineer here at Zoom, and thank you for attending our session today. Today we have three presenters that will be going over our Canvas integration, Slack integration, and Zendesk integration. And those are just a few of the out-of-box integrations we have today. And here at Zoom, we take your feedback very seriously. I think it's been mentioned several times in the sessions already. If you have any thoughts or ideas on how we can improve what we have today, or ideas on what we can develop in the future, we very much want to hear that. We view Zoom, our goal of our integrations and our APIs is to allow Zoom to be the collaboration platform that enhances your daily workflow, right? So a few housekeeping notes. Please silence your phones. The session will be recorded. We will have a Q&A at the end, and you can always come to us with any questions afterwards. So first off, we have Ernie Perez that will be going over our Canvas integration. And Ernie has over 18 years of experience in IT. Ernie serves as the Director of Instructional Technology at California State University, Northridge. He provides leadership and hands-on management in the strategic adoption and use of educational technologies in teaching and learning. He previously served as the Instructional Technology Manager at Kansas State University, where he oversaw centrally funded instructional technology environments on the campus, as well as overseeing video conferencing services and the Learning Space Design and Consultation Group. Ernie holds a Master in Adult, Occupational, and Continuing Education and a Bachelor's in Business Administration from Kansas State University. Ernie, go ahead.
Thank you. Well, good morning, everyone. So as I was saying, at least we're not right before lunch, so we have you as a captive audience here. So a little bit about California State University. So we are, there are 23 campuses in the Cal State system. So we're the largest by student count, about 450,000 students. We're one of those campuses. Our campus is about 42,000 students. So it's a fairly large campus. Because of our base of alumni, about 1 out of 10 employee in the state of California is a Cal State alumni. So it's a pretty big number. We're in the process of moving from Moodle to Canvas. We took about a 1.5-year long process. So for those who don't know what the LMS is, it's our teaching and learning tool, our bread and butter. For those of you here in tech, you know what Canvas is because that's one of those new players that's out there. So when I'll back up a little bit, the Cal State system decided that we needed to do an RFP for video conferencing services, and we wanted three pieces to be covered: teaching and learning. We wanted student use and admin use. So we took it together. There was an RFP put together. Zoom was one of those, and Zoom won the contract for that. All but a couple of CSUs were part of that, and most recently San Jose State just joined, so now Zoom has all 23 campuses. So that's a pretty big thing. So it's used throughout admin side, student side, and the teaching and learning side. So we've built it into Moodle, and then we now into Canvas. There's two integrations. There's just an LTI integration, which is a little more plain Jane, and with Canvas, there's the Canvas app, which gives a lot more functionality into our Canvas platform. So in every course, in the submenu, Canvas, Zoom shows up so faculty can create those rooms where students can meet. Students use it for work projects, class projects. Faculty use it for office hours. And so for hybrid courses, et cetera. So with that, it's built in. Because we have it integrated with single sign-on, it's a seamless pass-through from Canvas onto Zoom, so that's a great thing. And for disaster recovery, if you don't know, Cal State Northridge is where the epicenter for the 1994 earthquake was. So this is a huge part of the disaster recovery just in case. So every course that we have, so this semester happens to be 7,074 courses, gets a shell created in Canvas. The faculty members can, if they so choose to, turn it on. So it's not available to everyone at all times. But for disaster recovery, we have that the faculty member could just quickly and easily turn it on, and the class could continue even without the brick and mortars. So Zoom is a great, huge part of that ecosystem that we have. And so we can use it for asynchronous communication or synchronous. So as with my next slide, we had a faculty member in psychology try this out last fall. And so with the integration into Zoom, he has a live 150-person class that he teaches in one of our large lecture halls. But he also has a camera in the back of the room with a student on a laptop. And through Zoom, last semester he had 48 students. So synchronously, they're taking the class. When they have a question, they type it in. The student in the back raises her hand, and the faculty member goes yes to those folks in line. And Ryan, who was the student assistant, would say, Susie Q has a question. Here you go. He would answer. They would have that engagement, and they would continue on. So they're able to participate in the class. With some of the research that he found, he did some a study afterwards. Students found out that using this tool, using Zoom, engagement was up. But I think on a point scale of 5, it grew by 1 point, so that's a huge increase. And also community was built, because not only was the chat going on to the student worker in the back of the room that was able to put that question out to the whole class, but there was also that chatter that was going on within chat between those students in the virtual world that were, did you catch that? Do you know about this? So it's kind of like passing notes, if you will, in that classroom. That's still happening through Zoom. So that's a great piece there. And so my last part is how we've been pushing it for teaching and learning. We have a faculty member. It's a quick video. It's, I think, a little less than 2 minutes. And I'll round it off on how we're using it on campus.
Zoom is a live video conferencing tool, and it's been fantastic for me. I use it in my teaching, holding virtual office hours, and also in my research lab. You can use it for offering synchronous online instruction, holding office hours online when your students aren't available to meet with you in person, or you can use it if you have to go away for a conference or another event, you can still hold class via Zoom. One of the fantastic features is the screen share, and I found it very helpful working with my graduate students because I'm able to edit a document and provide feedback while my students watch and can ask questions. Some of the other features that Zoom offers are a whiteboard, chat, hand raising, and breakout rooms. You can record your Zoom session so that if a student misses class, they're able to play it back at a later time. We've been able to use Zoom for interviewing our master's applicants who are not able to visit campus. We've also used it for hosting lab meetings and a lot of other collaboration with colleagues and students. Zoom is just such an intuitive tool. It's simple to use from the very first moment you start using it. I find myself now using it almost every single day.
Okay, next up we have Raun Nohavitza. Got that right?
You got it.
Okay, brief about Raun. Raun is Centrify's Vice President of Information Technology. He leads the corporate information security team as well as infrastructure, business applications, and help desk support. Raun brings over 20 years of experience in information technology, information security, and compliance.
But not with lapel mics, apparently. All right. Hi, guys. I'm Raun, and I've been asked to show you Zoom Slack integration, which I'm very happy to do. One of the things we love about Zoom is it's one of these new class of cloud apps that are really integration friendly. And so we end up using APIs to download information about the things that are stored in recordings that are stored in the cloud and things like that. But some of the integrations don't even require that much. So I'll show you the one with Slack. So we're very big users of Slack at Centrify. And of course we have both Zoom and Slack integrated to single sign-on with the Centrify Identity Platform. So so I'm in my portal here, and I've got both of these things going. When they told me that you wanted to see the Zoom Slack integration And I had 10 minutes to show it. I said, well, what am I going to do with the other 9? It's really pretty simple. It is very simple. In fact, let me pop back over here real quick. There's a web page right here on support.zoom.us that shows you how to integrate. And basically, all you're going to do is you're going to give Slack the permissions to do the integration. And it's just one of these, right? You're going to authorize it, and then you're good to go. So once you've got it going, though, is kind of where the magic is. And let me see. I've got a buddy waiting. I'm going to try and get him a hold here. You can see I have a whole bunch of channels. I'm a big Slack user. Oh, here's Evan. Oh, here he is, and he's waiting for me. All right. I'm going to ask him to start. And I want him to show us if I can type. And then what I'm going to do to start the meeting is I'm just going to type /Zoom. Oops. And you can see it's a nice integration. It gives you a little bit of help when it pops up here. It'll tell you I could be giving it a meeting ID if I had a different meeting I wanted to join right away. But if I just hit enter, I get a notification and a brand new meeting is created with a click to join. I get the click, he gets the click. I'm going to click. Okay. And I am going to join by computer. Hey, hang on, Evan. Let's see. Can you hear me? Okay, well, we can't hear you because we didn't set that up beforehand. Sorry, guys. All right, so. Oh, audio. That's a novel idea. Okay, hold your ears, everybody. That's okay. You know what? We don't need audio to show you what we're going to show you here. So, Evan, can you share your screen and share the Slack chat window to see when I type /Zoom what you saw? Okay, here we go. All right, so yeah, I see. Thank you. He's a fan too. Okay, so let's go back to the chat window that we were in, our private chat. And so when I sent him the /Zoom, you can see at the bottom here, he got the note, click to join. So everybody in the channel gets it, and you can just join right away. That's really all there is to it. There's not much to the integration other than this, but the magic of it is in the flow. So if you, like us, if you use Slack all the time, you start your conversations in Slack and you're going until all of a sudden, I really need to share something, or I really want to see a face, I need to get this point across, you can /Zoom, click, and you're in. Whereas in other solutions, you might have to schedule a meeting, do something different to do that. It's a very light flow into that work, and we use it all the time. So since I have a couple of more minutes, though, I did want to show you, and thank you, Evan. I'm gonna disconnect here. All right, bye. All right. Oh, my meeting was good. All right, so I just wanted to show you one more thing. So there's one more integration that I use with Zoom, and like many modern cloud apps, Zoom publishes on their website a trust page that lets you see if their servers are up and running and around the globe. And then they will post issues there if they're aware of something that needs to get out to the community. And you guys will probably have people in your company that watch those pages to watch for when things are going on. It looks like this. This is their status page, status.zoom.us. And it shows you, okay, everything's up and operational as expected. But you can subscribe to these updates, and you could get emails or whatever, but you can also get RSS feeds. And RSS feeds can be integrated into Slack. So if you have a Slack channel like I do for just about every application that I manage, I have an admin's Zoom channel right here where I've integrated that RSS feed. So you can see here's a status incident history. When that pops up, it just pops into the Slack channel. So I've got the right people joined to here, so if they ever need to know what's going on, they can see it. And where you do that is when you are in Slack. As a team administrator, you will have the ability to do a lot of extra things, depending on how you set up your permissions. You may kind of delegate that. But if you go to Manage Apps in Slack, then you can add the RSS app right here, and just add your feed to that, and just take the RSS and add it in here, and which channel you want it to go to, and you're done. And that's pretty much all I've got. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much, Ron. Our third presenter is going to be our very own Brendan Ittelson. And a little bit about Brendan. Let me pull that up. Brendan is responsible for our global support, customer support at Zoom. He brings an extensive background in technology and the pursuit of delivering high-quality customer solutions. Brendan holds a bachelor's degree in business administration from the University of Oregon and a certificate in identity management from the Naval Postgraduate School. Brendan.
Thank you. Greatly appreciate everyone being here today at Zoomtopia at this inaugural event. Really, it's the user community that helps make Zoom, so thank you for coming out and being here today. So I'm honored to talk about the Zoom Zendesk integration because this actually started as an internal feature request. The support team at Zoom uses Zendesk for all of our case management. So when we were looking at how we can deliver happiness and how we can do it better, we naturally went, how can we look at our workflows and integrate with the tools that we're using? Zendesk has an open API, Zoom has an open API, so there was a marriage there that could build a platform that was very flexible and sort of unify those workflows so that our agents can focus on delivering happiness to everyone instead of needing to worry about the tools. Now, when we were looking at this integration and looking for those features, we were thinking, what works best? Where are those points that would make it easier? So how do we do it where the members of our team are only working in a single tool and not needing to switch between apps? Also, Zoom is a global support model. So we have team members around the world who are naturally scheduling with individuals in other time zones. How many people in here have tried to schedule something across 3 locations and missed that time zone conversion by an hour? Few. So we wanted to remove a lot of those challenges. And the other thing that we wanted to do is look at how do we make this so that all the records of this flow naturally into that case note. So again, there's one place to look at the entire history of what took place within a certain case so we have all the records. And that's what formed the basis of this integration. So the integration is now live, and it's a quick and easy integration to set up. So if we can switch over to the computer, perfect. It's available right now on the Zendesk App Store. So one click and it can install. And if we can switch over to the computer. So you can see an install there. It'll ask for your Zoom API key and secret. And at the same time, on the Zoom side, it's the same sort of configuration where you put the Zendesk API and secret, and then the 2 systems are linked and trust one another. So then from a user experience standpoint, I'm now in Zendesk, and you can see that we've actually integrated directly into the interface. So I have a ticket here from a Zoom customer who would love to see more about that Zoom Zendesk integration. So you'll notice that on the right-hand side here, natively within my Zoom within my Zendesk application, I have the Zoom app. And if you notice, the look and feel is just like Zoom that they're used to on their desktop. Now, I have the power of starting an instant meeting, but I can also go and schedule a meeting. If you notice, we wanted to take out all those little steps. So the meeting topic, it's already pulling the details of that ticket to fill in. Also, on the time zones, since Zendesk stores the information about where the requester is located, we can pull in that so that when the person's scheduling, they can see their time zone and the time zone of the person that they're working with to make it very quick, simple, and easy. And we can set a duration here. Now, once I schedule, what's really nice is you notice that it automatically put the invite into the comments into the ticket here. One-click access, no copying and pasting. Again, how do we optimize that workflow so that members of our team can focus on delivering happiness and make it easier? So I'll go ahead and update that ticket. So that just sent the note out. And I can go ahead and join that meeting here. So we are now live, and I have Luke here. He's one of our support managers out of Kansas City. And we're natively in Zoom. We have all the features, so I can record to the cloud just like usual and have all the native functionality that you're used to. Thank you, Luke. And at that point, we're back into our Zendesk experience. But if you notice, it's automatically added an internal note to that ticket letting us know what meeting it was. When did it start? When did it stop? Who was in that meeting? So all that information is available in one place, start to finish, so that we have the full record of what took place and went on. Also, you notice that I did do a recording in that meeting. Within a minute here, as soon as that cloud recording completes, that will automatically pop into the ticket as well. So there's one point of reference for every single transaction that took place, and I never had to switch screens. All a native integration. So this is version 1.0. We're always looking at how to further improve, but that's the Zendesk integration. So thank you.
Thank you, Brendan. This is our Q&A session. Any questions for our presenters today? You can also come to us afterwards individually if you'd like as well.
Just a real quick question for you, Brandon. That last page you were at there, was that a Zendesk page that you were working off of? And it was integrating the Zoom into it?
Yeah, so the entire thing, I was completely in Zendesk and never switched away from their web application.
Thank you.
Question for Ernie. Do you license the product for your students, or you just give them the basic licenses?
So we have pro accounts for everyone. So that was
Across the board.
across the board, so we don't differentiate between student, faculty, or staff. Right. So a question are you using the Canvas app or the LTI?
We've been doing it with Blackboard, and for right now, we're moving towards Zoom, which is a lot more efficient, but right now, it's just LTI.
Right. So we had that same problem with the LTI because it does seem disjointed. Moving to the Canvas app, it is much better.
Does it look more like this Zendesk one?
Yes. Yes, it's much more seamless. Before, at least I'm sure with Blackboard, it was with Moodle, you had to go add an external tool, find that tool, and then put it in there, and it didn't talk to each other quite right. Those issues are resolved using the Canvas app.
I have a question for Ernie. Did you turn that on, like in the administrative side for campus, for the whole campus, the Zoom app, or did you have to do an individual course, have to turn it on?
Great question. So the way that, for those that don't know, the LTIs can be added to site-wide, sub-account, which are subgroupings, however you have those set up on Canvas, or you can do it at a course level. So we allow faculty to add any LTI that they want into their courses. We set it up site-wide because the Canvas API requires a developer key, so it requires more permissions. So we have it set up site-wide, so every course gets it.
Question about the Slack side of things.
Yes, sir.
We use this, Slack to Zoom. Looking for strategies of going Zoom to Slack. So we're already in a meeting, and we want to let, this is a hiring situation, we want to let the students develop a back channel so they
Yes.
don't fill up the Zoom chat with all the, interpersonal stuff and keep it on course content.
So, so I'm not aware of one. I'm also very interested in that sort of thing. Hint, hint, Zoom guys. So, but we definitely do that all the time in meetings. You'll be in a Zoom meeting, especially internal, external meetings, and you want a back channel for your internal chatter. So we use Slack for that back channel, but we generally have to have an agreed upon space where we're already meeting. So perhaps some opportunities there.
I was thinking off my head when you were talking, is there a way to address a particular Slack channel via URL?
Yes, there is.
'Cause
So.
I don't mind the students, because it's the students doing it, it's not us doing it. So we can post that in the Zoom chat.
You certainly could. I think along with integrations, there would be an opportunity to do something fancy like create a channel on the fly, make it a private channel, invite the people who are the members of the Zoom chat into that channel. But as far as goes, without some dev work, I don't think that there's anything just super easy.
One more on Slack. Wasn't there a recent upgrade to the integration? And what are the added features there?
There is a recent integration, upgrade, and I was demoing the older version of the integration. I didn't reintegrate because I didn't want to disrupt the guys who are actually using it right now. But the new one had a topic setting, I think. It was a little bit of a difference. The main difference is behind the scenes in the way that it authorizes the connection. After it's integrated, though, it's basically the same deal.
Question for Ernie. When you moved from Moodle to Canvas, did you do a comparison of ARC to Zoom? And what made you choose Zoom?
ARC to Zoom. So ARC is a little bit different. ARC isn't a video conferencing tool. It's more of a video content platform, which is, it has a lot of great features, especially if you understand accessibility, because they do a closed captioning in the videos that you ingest. So not really apples to apples. Canvas does have something that they call conferences. And if I remember correctly, that's Blue Dot. Their background on that, not as robust. So we've actually turned that off.
You've seen more and more faculty adopting the synchronous sessions using Zoom. Sorry.
Yeah, so like, for example, the Abe Rudcheck thing. It's interesting. I think you are seeing more of that. The question there is, are there many higher ed people in the room? So I see a few. So we are union. So then there comes a question of course load and how many courses are they teaching versus how many. There are a lot of other things there. Abe wanted to go beyond that and show what we were capable of doing, and then looking at the political side afterwards.
So Ernie, how do you deal with the camera being on? So we have Blackboard. We moved there 3 years ago, which I'll sum up in one word: disaster. So faculty have abandoned Collaborate, and they're picking up Zoom because I integrated it into the system. So now we have a problem where we don't know what to do with the cameras. We've had students that are bullying other students and bullying faculty. The Zoom is recorded so well that they then transfer that to Facebook or social media to ridicule faculty. So our legal department's involved. So what I do is I pin the camera to myself when I lecture, and then I record in HD. So have you had that kind of pushback from faculty?
Interesting. So no, I haven't had that pushback, and I'm going to say yet, because I'm sure that will come up. So we don't allow students to record it on their own. Of of course, they could use other screen capture tools. And we also, or cloud recording, we have a different idea of what to do with cloud recording, where we teach faculty to put their videos into Box because we have unlimited storage there, and we can password protect it, and we can do a lot more things with that. So we're not really using cloud recording in that fashion. But we aren't using that, we're not having that problem yet. I can see that that's a student conduct thing, and those items would be sent to our student conduct office, and there would probably be other issues to address there. But we haven't seen that ridiculing and posting of videos. If that were to happen, I'm sure that Student Affairs and the Student Conduct Board would have something to say about that.
As far as the Slack integration, is there anything there as far as presence being shared across the platforms? Are you guys doing anything regarding that, like through additional?
No, yeah, short answer is no. No. Slack has its presence and Zoom has its presence, but there's not a sharing of that at this point.
So how did you start with Slack? I mean, that's something that's new. I find in our administrators, they won't do anything unless we start it. So we did that with Zoom. How did you get Slack to be adopted?
So I work for a security software company, and so I've got a lot of R&D guys, and they love it. They love Slack. Slack has high adoption among R&D types, and the IT team loves it. And we just didn't have that much of an issue. It was easier to get for us. It was easier to get people on Slack than it was to get them aligned on things like Skype for Business and things like that. So.
Question for Ernie. You talked about the blended distant and local room of 40 students local, or 40 students distant, big local. And you said you have a student in the back room. Are the remote students talking then to the professor directly, or are you just mediating the question?
Yeah, so it's mediating the question through that graduate assistant in the back. It's not a new model. I used to work in Kansas, so we had a lot of different video conferencing was sent to different extension offices, except that interaction wasn't always there. That upkeep of equipment was just horrendously expensive. If you look back, there were 20 years ago there were a lot of grants to put in the equipment. But again, if you look at capital expenditures and OpEx, we're in a completely different model these days. So this is moving forward into that old way of thinking.
Any additional questions?
So for a Slack integration, if you, in the Zoom chat, is there any way to poll that conversation into a Slack?
Is there? I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question?
If someone is chatting within the Zoom,
Yes.
can we pull that into Slack?
All right, the question is, if somebody's chatting in Zoom, can we pull it into a Slack channel? Again, anything is possible with infinite time and money, but and the APIs definitely could let you lean in that direction, but not without dev work. So as it stands, with the integration out of the box, the primary use is creating new meetings and joining current meetings, and then the link gets you, your workflow is you go from Slack into Zoom, and you're there. And that's, I believe so. I believe so. I haven't examined those APIs that closely, but definitely something that I know that we're not the only ones that are interested in a tighter integration of chat, and this is something that's across IT everywhere right now is kind of the explosion of the addition of collaboration into every platform and every app, and so our customers are ending up with a dozen different things that are sending them messages and alerts and apps on their phones and things, and it's a real problem. And I think there's a lot of room for innovative companies like Zoom to get to a place where they're more granular in their integration, where you can do something like actually be using a Slack channel directly with a Zoom meeting. But that's something that I think we have to show our support for so that they can hear our voice.
Yeah, so right now it's just manual. So when they record onto the computer, we give them instructions on how to upload it to Box and share it that way. Right. So, right. No, we haven't moved there yet.
So we do this. We do the same thing, but with Dropbox. So same thing. You know, people put the sync client on, and you just save local.
Yeah. So, are there any Box people here? Okay. So I won't. Or from Box. So because I'm going to get in trouble here because I know it's being recorded. So Box currently doesn't let you map a drive. It might be that will be coming soon. When that happens, that will be a way of doing that. I didn't say that. I've heard.
When it happens.
When it
Inevitable.
happens. Inevitable. That's right.
I had a question on HipChat. We're trying to use it with SSO, but it looks like we only have email options. Do you know if they're going to add SSO in HipChat?
So we're constantly working on all the integrations, and for HipChat, definitely that is on our roadmap. A lot of the integrations, we're adding more and more of the log-on options now, so it is on the roadmap soon.